Continuing with our understanding of oligopolies, we're going to now move into the theory of games. So this video, this entire lesson, will talk about game theory and how we understand oligopoly through game theory. It's a very powerful tool, and it will permit us to make some actually pretty strong and robust predictions about how firms behave in these strategic areas of competition. Game theory started, its origins were from mathematicians who were sort of academic mathematicians who were solving constrained optimization problems and thinking about how players in a game would strategically compete with each other. This is, pretty, as I said, it's pretty well suited for what we're talking about. If you're thinking about two players against each other in, say, a game of chess, there's strategy and there are rules, and you can optimize on that problem. We could probably use the same type of intuition, not necessarily the same mathematics, but the same type of intuition to think about how Honda and Toyota would compete with each other in the mid-size automobile market. A very cutthroat market. They have to behave strategically. They have to think not only about the market demand for this product, but also their rivals. That's very key to this problem. We have basically two types of games. We have something called cooperative games, and we have something called non-cooperative games. Okay, and they're both important. Okay, cooperative games refer to situations where the players can sign binding contracts. There's still a lot of strategy involved. You can think of labor management negotiation. Labor and management have different strategies. They get into these negotiation games and they're pushing for more workers to be hired, higher wages, better health care benefits, the firm's pushing back. And in the final analysis, they'll put pen on paper and sign a contract that's legally protected by the law. Okay, that type of game has remarkably different outcomes than the one we're going to spend our time on, because non-cooperative games, players cannot, and put it in capital letters, sign binding contracts. They can talk to each other, they can do all sorts of stuff, but it's all what we might call cheap talk. They can't put anything on paper that will hold up in the court of a law. Okay, that's not. If they can, then it's a cooperative game. Non-cooperative games are where they're not permitted to do that. This is where the action is for economics. Well, we have some cooperative games, as I said. I tried to give you an example of a labor management negotiation. There are other types of cooperative games, but the type of stuff we're thinking about, which is how does an oligopoly equilibrium occur? Where do they find price and quantity in an oligopoly? And then can we sort of measure the efficiency properties of that? We're going to use non-cooperative games. Now, it turns out for non-cooperative games, there's really two types. And one is what game theorists call extensive form games. And the other is what game theorists call normal form games. Both of these are important to economists. An extensive form game, you should think of it this way. Think of it as a sequential play game, like tree diagrams. First, one player moves, makes a decision, and then another player responds. And normal form games, you should think of these as simultaneous play games. Honda and Toyota simultaneously make a production decision for the year. They can't call each other up and talk about it because that's against the law. They make a decision about how many cars they're going to put on the market. Okay, making that decision is a big important thing, because all of a sudden it's going to be revealed what Honda will get a revelation of what Toyota did, and Toyota will get a revelation of what Honda did, and then we'll see the outcome in this game. And so they have to be very good at understanding how the strategy of their rivals. And we'll look at how that process works.